Hey all, it's Daniel Kastner, and this is my first video in 2019, so thank you for being so patient. I see a lot of new subscribers, and before I kick off this video, I do want to say thank you to a couple of people that have sent some coffee my way. BT Skaggs, thank you for watching the Microcorg videos, and Alex Meow, just appreciate you tuning in. And I had an anonymous pal send some coffee and cat treats and stuff like that my way. So I'll link my Ko-fi account below if you like these kind of videos. I'm hoping to make a ton of content this year, and I'm just really excited to kind of keep going. But as you can see, I've got some new hardware in here, and it's really exciting. So I went into my local shop, Patchworks, and they had model number 20 here of this Elektron Model samples. I had looked into the Volca sample for a long time, and seeing what this could do in the flesh was really exciting. So pulled this out of the box. It's got a couple of things that come with it. It does come with its own power supply, and they're coming out with a battery handle with it, which is really exciting because you can take it on the go and potentially chain it with future model whatever devices that Elektron's planning on coming out with. It's incredibly light. It's like a solid plastic, and thank you for letting me lift that in frame. It's got headphone outs, it's got the stereo outs, it's got two little midis, and it comes with this fancy cable. Throw it over here. It's basically like a mini jack to MIDI. So that's pretty fancy, and that's really nice. I'm hoping to get another one of those because it has MIDI out and then MIDI in through, or MIDI in. Oh look, MIDI out and through and MIDI in. It also has USB and USB MIDI. To my knowledge, it cannot be powered through USB, but it comes with a really nice braided USB cord that helps you put some samples on it. I believe it has a gig of internal memory, letting you put about 11 minutes of samples on it. So I think those are the main things. It uses the same Digitact software, I believe. So I'll just kind of show you to turn it on and off. It's just on the click on this button. The white button and the orange button are the only two that click. The rest do not click. So you just hold it to shut it down, which is pretty straightforward, and you just hold it to turn it on. That was kind of something that I had tried to figure out, and you know, you get a little bit exploratory. So you have all of these different banks, essentially banks, tracks, and I believe patterns are kind of the main kind of core of this, and I'm sure some of you are pretty familiar with how a lot of this works. But for me to get into like a different preset, I would start, for example, going pattern T1 1, and that brings me to A1 that says hello on track 6, which is over here. These are all velocity sensitive, so you can, T1 through T6 are kind of your drum machine, like that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. You can re-trigger on them. And in this mode, you can also get into this like chromatic playing on these lower keys. So from there, you can actually adjust volumes on each of the tracks with this, and you can actually like enable and disable tracks by hitting function. So for example, if I start playing this, I'm hoping this sounds fun. You can kind of see this is all working on one track, so this one track is making all these sounds. It's incredibly deep. Actually, I lied. So you can mute tracks by holding function. Sorry, I thought I was hitting function before. So now it's just this. And we have a couple of pages worth of scale. So it's just going through all these different pages. And you can pull stuff back in by hitting function and just sliding through it, which is pretty exciting. So you have play, start, and kind of a record. I'm still figuring out how some of these all work and how they play in. But as you're playing, you can also hit like continue playing. And it does have a delay and reverb in it. I think the reverb is unreal. So like if we play this, what I would probably do in my own workflows, I would slow this way down. And what you can do on the entire track is hold this and kind of turn up your reverb sound and also turn up your reverb size. So it's going to get really splashy. And on the entire track, you can also start turning down the probability that the triggers will actually fire. This is probably what sold me on buying this. Because now it's at a 60% chance that any of these triggers will fire. And it's kind of coming up with its own little melodies and all those fun things. So if we wanted to start like something a little more kind of grassroots, really starting from the top, I think it's important to know, a couple of things. So let's jump over into like a B bank. Like I'm thinking pattern, T2, maybe B6. That loads, and you can use this kind of back menu to get to the main thing. And so we'll say B6, 0 or no name, and it'll just show whatever track I'm on. So there's nothing on these, I believe. It does load one thing. But if I want to load a kit, I'm going to hit the sample key. And you can kind of see it's in this BD model. I can go back a folder, and I can go back a folder. And I do want to make sure I'm going into this factory drums. So in the drums, you can go to like break beats or chilled, all of these. And I'm going to go down to, I really like the Vapor ones. I think that one's pretty fun. If you hold this button, it'll say load whole directory. And you say yes. And there's 6 samples in that. And it's going to take all 6 and just lay them out across these. So it should sound different now. So I would start somewhere in here. And you can, start recording in live. I'm on the bass drum, so I'd maybe do kind of that standard. That's usually way too fast for me. Sorry, that's pitch. To turn tempo down, you push this button and you can pull down. You can also hit function and tap in 4 times and it'll figure out. So to switch tracks, you're just gonna press this. And maybe I'm not digging like the sound of this snare. I can actually pitch it down. I can pitch down the entire track, which is cool. Or if I leave it, I can take individual ones like this one and pitch this one down. And I can pitch this one. So already this is kind of getting more fun. So I'm trying to think of what else I would do. Let's keep going. kind of like things on the grid. You can also do a live mode. I haven't quite experimented with that so much, but that's coming up. So maybe on this entire track I want a little more reverb. So I think this sounds a little loud. If I go back to this menu, I can use this orange guy and kind of pull him down a little. So you can definitely mix in your different sounds. I think if you hold in, you get to, or hit function, yeah, you get to pan it left and right. So one thing that I thought was really cool is being able to, let's say like I go and dial in a delay on maybe the snares, so delay send, cranking that up, and then maybe I'm not really liking this. You can usually hit, if you start messing with it, like if you have it in a decent spot, you can hit this return key and it'll kick it back to where you were. That's way too much delay on this for me right now. So if I were playing this live, I could go in and start turning off tracks, you know, start with the kick. And I just did that with the function. You hold function and you can touch any one of these. I don't have anything on these, but what's really fun, again, is that control all. So if I hit track and turn down the pitch, it's affecting every single one of these tracks. And I can pull that back up. And even just so as I've made this sound, you can do a temporary save without saving any patches, which is really sweet. So you hit function and temp save on this wrench. So it's a quick move. If you want to for sure save it, you can do a long move. So quick save, it'll say pattern save to temp area. So then I can go and do something like this. I can go I can make this entire sound completely different from what it was. And let's say I want to just get back into that groove. I'll just hit function pattern to reload it and it'll keep that groove going. So this is really nice for like a decent break in a song. So ready? 3, 2, 1. So you can completely distort your sound and bring it back. And again, all of these triggers can all be changed with pitch, decay, sample start, length, and all these things. And even as this is going, I think this is pretty brilliant and not, you know, anything that you should be completely amazed by, but I can go completely change the kit. You can do the same stuff with it. It's these buttons are pretty interesting too. You can do some looping. You can also do, and it's going off of whatever track you've selected. You can reverse it. So you can reverse your snares or hi-hats. You can also do some LFO stuff. I haven't quite touched on that yet in learning, but stopping is clearly that. If you have a lot of reverb, it will trail. So let's go set that up real quick. So if I hold this and just stop it, it will fade out in a pretty natural way. So that's about all I have on the Elektron model samples so far. Hope that's an interesting look and how I'm using it. I'm really excited to tie it in with my microKORG workflow and just show you what I'm doing as I go here. Really exciting little groove box. It can do so much. I'm like just so excited to have it and be able to like tote it around. I also got this really sweet bag with it. I don't have that anywhere near me, but really nice for travel. So hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you feel like throwing some coffee or cat treats my way, I'll have my coffee link in the description. And thank you. We'll see you very soon. Thank you.